Footage Live Television in Profile Daily. Today we have the leadership of the agricultural, Afro-Processing and Industrial Workers Union of Liberia. We have the leadership of today, the President and Secretary General. Today will be spotlighting some of the activity and contribution to the welfare of agriculture within our country. A pleasant good morning, sir, and welcome to this interview.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Firstly, let's start out with the recent saga at Firestone. What have been your leadership intervention?
Well, we have had several engagements, both with the management of Firestone Liberia as well as with the government of Liberia to ensure that we continue to maintain and secure the livelihood income of our members, which is to ensure that they remain on job. But unfortunately, the company has complained for the past 10 to 15 years now. They have been undergoing series of shortfalls in their income in terms of the low price of raw, the high overhead costs, and what have you. And because of that, they indicated that they will be reducing 13% of the workforce. Yes, we have engaged the government to ensure that the government do everything possible and all of the partners, including the union itself, to see how we could salvage and mitigate this problem. Unfortunately, the conditions remain the same, and the company have taken some steps. I think the government made some intervention, and the company have taken some steps. And one of the key factors that is involved in this entire saga is that those who are currently being redundant will be given the opportunity to be employed by whomever the contract will be transferred to, so that they will continue to maintain their livelihood income. I think this is also laudable.
And who is taking that initiative?
The initiative is also being done by the management.
Firestone.
Yeah.
Okay. Looking, according to the first report that was published on their official website, this, according to them, they are going to dance up to 800 librarians. Well, don't you think that number is so huge?
Well, definitely the number that is being portrayed is I mean, there are several group of employees that are within our circle. There are those who are retired, and there are those who have reached the retirement age, and then they also will have to go, because once you reach the retirement age as by the labor law, definitely you have to be retired. And so I think about pretty close to 200 persons, will be retired. And then probably the other 600, according to what we learned, they will be doing it on a gradual basis in terms of getting one sector of employees out and then the other group on a gradual basis. So that is how the process is ongoing. But one thing I want to make clear here is that the issue of redundancy, especially at the Firestone plantation, is not a new thing, and redundancy is not a new thing to the workforce in Liberia. It's just that what is alarming now is that the company is saying this is not the beginning. This is not the beginning of the end. It's going to be a continuous process, and that is why we want to continue to engage government to ensure that our members, remain active on duty. Whatever, in terms of whatever solution that can be found, whether short term or long term, we want to engage the government so that it can be able to mitigate these problems, so that our membership and the workers can remain on job, because they have a negative effect. Once they lose their job, it will have a negative effect on our national economy.
Okay, according to some of the employees, they said that the management was seeking some intervention. The leadership rather of the worker union was seeking some intervention of the government, but since then, government is speeding intervention.
Well, just want to commend the Secretary General for discussing the issue as regard the Firestone saga. We have had and made several proposals And I tell you that with the news that the entire 800 batch will now go at once is welcoming. With the news that the first 300 that will be redundant will be given the first option to serve as a contractor. That is where those farms, if you have been on a farm, there are some that refer to our old trees. Okay, normally the management give it to a contractor to see as to whether they don't affect their overhead as their target. So those workers that will be used in the area will firstly be those redundant workers. So I think that is of great impact, and we want to appreciate the effort that led to such decision, because our interest is for our workers to stay within their income, so that they don't have a consequence on the life of the rest of their siblings.
Okay.
But again, we thought that it was necessary that we raise the issue of diversification. That I think the secretary can speak loud to, but that was where we thought that there is a need to have another approach outside the box. So as you can do a point.
Definitely, it has been a long time running now. Our national economy, which is definitely based on the extraction of iron ore, as well as rubber, which have been a main line of our export oriented products for Liberia. And what we noticed over the years is that the price of rubber on the international market has been down for a very long time. So we have been approached and seeing that there's a need for diversification of the products, especially when it comes to agricultural product in Liberia. And we feel that a company like Firestone, if she can get involved in probably planting coffee or cocoa, that would be an extra advantage, because cocoa, the price on the market has been very high. And definitely we think on a long-term basis, if the government of Liberia, through the concession bureau, can engage the company to ensure that she starts planting cocoa, definitely will have enough of farmers around here who definitely will plant cocoa, and then the company can be a source of producing chocolate here. That would be a very good example in terms of sustaining the livelihood income of thousands of workers in Liberia, especially thousands of young people in Liberia. And that is why we feel that for the long term, in terms of boosting our agricultural economy, it would be better that we diversify and shift over from rubber to other crops.
You as a leadership, what is your relationship between you and the current administration of Firestone? Is your relationship cordial?
Oh, definitely. Currently, as we speak, we are currently negotiating for a new contract arrangement with the management of Firestone Liberia for the workers of Firestone, and that is going to pick up from 2019 to 2022, and that process is ongoing. We have a cordial, working relationship based on mutual respect and understanding. And we believe that with this kind of engagement, we'll continue to sustain and to maintain, industrial peace and harmony, in the country, which is very good for the boosting of our national economy.
Okay, let me take you to other issue there. Then this issue recently around the country as it relates to do the president touch a bit as it relates to the growth of economy, not only Liberia. Looking at, are you also taking into consideration the rubber price on the market? What have been your engagement? What are some of the things you are saying also to those employees that have been answered?
No, definitely. Our biggest concern here as a trade union movement is to the core value of the trade union movement is to ensure that our members remain on job security. Yeah, whatever we do, we try our best in every way possible to ensure that we secure our membership jobs, because that is our core value. And so based upon this, that is why we are engaging with the government and even with the company to ensure that we do diversification. The company has been here for pretty close to a century now. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if we notice that the company, I don't think the company is looking for additional land in terms of making the diversification. The land is already there, and so all we need to do is just revert from planting rubber to planting other crops. But that will have to be done through the passage of a law in order to amend the concession agreement that was signed between the Liberian government and the management of Firestone Liberia. So definitely on a long-term basis, these are some of the issues we are talking about. But to your question, we think that there are also some short-term initiatives that the government can take to ensure that our membership remains on job. Yeah, in terms of reducing the tariff on some of the agricultural implements that the company brings into the country to carry out for operations, and all of that. And I think the president have made the president have issued some executive order in terms of tariff reduction. We don't know how far that has gone in terms of affecting the agricultural sector, but we believe that if a decision is made to reduce tariff and other, or tax-related incentive can be given to the company, we think that will also help to mitigate the process.
Okay. Although someone here want to know from you one Daniel Zen from taxi.
Yeah.
Although we have not touched that side, but he said you want to know what are some of those activities you have to build the capacity of your work.
Oh, definitely. We have a lot that we are putting into place. We have a very robust educational, workers educational program that is going on, and in fact we have been tapping into our initial partnership with the American Labor Solidarity Center, which is based in Washington DC. We also have an affiliate organization with the United States Workers Union of America, which also unionizes all of the Bridgestone Firestone workers in North America. And so we have this relationship with them, and we have been building the capacity of our workers through workshops, seminars, and trainings, both at home and abroad, to beef up our membership. We also have a connection with the International Labor Rights Forum, who have been providing grants and other incentives for our work. And so there are a lot of other international affiliations that we have that have been helping us to build our capacity and to train our members, to keep them, on a job and keep them effective and punctual in terms of protecting and the social rights issue and all the labor rights issue across the plantation and other areas of work that we are involved with.
Okay, let's get back to the president. Mr. President, we learned that in a few days from now, you will be going to Sanu Kante, where there will be a knuckle. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, thank you. Again, the Agro-Processing and Industrial Workers Union is a mother union in the labor language, or what we call collective bargaining unit or agent for the worker of Firestone, Golden Veron in Sando de Southeastern, and then Sigma. Fortunately for all, we have concluded the issue of workplace representative election that is done in keeping with the Decent Work Act. And today the stage is set that those that were elected will be inducted on the 27th. But more to that, as the Secretary made mention, we have a challenge, especially when it comes to building our workers' capacity. There is a challenge. The situation of the occupational workplace, health and safety, the situation of make use of chemical, the situation of PPE are all challenges that are coming back and forth, and we are being confronted with. So when the viewer asked about whilst for low capacity. Definitely we have had some partnership in industrial oil and other friendly partners are coming, but there is a challenge, and I want the secretary to lament those challenges so one can see the precarious situation that the working people and their family are faced with.
Yes, before we go to the secretary, you just touched a little bit, but one we would love to know, and with all those challenges, have you been engaging the international community to not stand up?
Yeah. In fact, the unions of voluntary institution that is run solely on non-for-profit, undue, and sometimes partnership grant that are strictly for capacity building. So yes, we have had some discussion. In fact, fortunately for all, we have in our offices here the visiting Solidarity Executive Director, at which time we'll be diving into our 1-year strategic plan. And the 1-year strategic plan is a roadmap that we shall succeed in our deliberation, the issue of organizing. Don't forget now, we also we are also into the forestry sector. And that sector is one of the precarious sector in a labor movement. So with the little that is forthcoming, it's just important that we raise the flag that we still have challenges, and we give the secretary the opportunity to point out those challenges, and then I will allow him to give you some historical perspective from where we were and where we now, those gains that were made between the Firestone Liberia, and we are now at the verge of entering to collective bargaining agreement with the oil palm golden federal, and so forth. So those are issues that I want him to dwell on, and I'm sure given his vast capacity, he will have to lament them so that the listening audience will not only understand where we are, but will understand the terrain that we are moving in. Okay,
so this question is directly to you. How can one being qualified to be a member of this institution?
Well, the Afro-Processing is a collective bargaining agent for the workers in the agricultural sector and the industrial sector. One way you are qualified to serve as a member, you must have work, and you must be a working
at any of the industries.
Working person
at any of the industry or agricultural
at any of those industry or at a plantation.
Is there any piece mindset? Maybe you have to work for 5 or 6 years.
No. There isn't any benchmark. The basic thing with one is if one a workplace have over 5 persons, you have an opportunity to be a member of an affiliate or be a member of the Agro-Processing Industrial Workers Union of Liberia. Once you have a workplace of over 5 persons, you can be organized, and then who can serve as a bargaining unit for you. So it's not based on length of time or what have you. Once you are in the employ of an entity, of a business entity or industrial sector or an agricultural based institution or farm, you can definitely come over. Once we get that information, we can come over and organize you, and then you can form part of the union.
And the secretary, it's good to point it out, to be a member of the union does not require you to have a doctorate degree.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No, not at all.
You should firstly be, because union is a universal language. You can be a resident here, I work on a resident permit, as long as you are in a formal employ or the informal, because we also have an extension of working in the informal sector. So our quest is a decent workplace a living wage or a wage that will help you and your family. And how do we do that? We do that by the strength of negotiation, engagement, and other activities that are geared towards improving your well-being.
Okay. Then we'll get back to the Secretary General to.
Yes, definitely, as the president mentioned, for us right now, historically we have been very positive in ensuring that, especially in the agricultural sector, there is this precarious or contract work, which, in other words, take away from the social protective net that our workers, are involved in. So we have been fighting to ensure that it's a big challenge for us, to ensure that our workers receive all of the social benefits, and become part of the protective social net. And besides that, the issue of occupational health and safety have been one of the key factor or key challenge for AWU in terms of addressing those issues, especially within the agricultural sector. And as you know, we've fought a long battle with child labor at the Firestone plantation, and that has been over with. And we want to sustain those gains that we have made, and then try to expand them to the rest of the other plantation across our country, on the various farms across our country, so that our kids can remain in school. All of those models that we have put in place, we continue to carry them out. That is why we are even fostering that within the southeastern region, which is mainly centered around the oil palm production. And so we want to ensure that all of that is geared towards, all of our activities is geared towards mitigating the problem, and so that our workers can work in a safe and healthy work environment.
I think the question has also been answered. Someone asking, I hope you are also building the capacity of your members.
No, definitely we are doing everything we can to ensure that, and that is why we say the issue of the occupational health and safety is a big challenge for us, because that is why we really want to build the capacity, and that is one of the major problems that we are facing within the southeastern region, where we have the oil palm, or oil palm companies.
When we say building capacity of members, so huge cost attached to it. Where do you get all those funding from?
Yeah, and that is the problem. That is the challenge we have had, and that is why we engage with our partners. We try to engage with our partners, friendly institutions, organizations that we can talk to gain grant from them, and other things to ensure that these issues are flagged, and our members, get to know the type of chemicals they use, the harmfulness of those chemicals to the body, and what they need to do to prevent, those kind of injuries from coming to them, and all of that. So it's a big challenge for us, and so that is why we continue to engage with our partners to ensure that we continue to provide education and the necessary, training, so that our members can be able to guide themselves in terms of carrying out their daily duties.
Do you also receive assistance like grant from the government or abroad?
No, we don't. Definitely, we are not.
We are not being
able to assist. I mean, we are not being able to gather any grant or fundings from the government of Liberia. What we do know is.
Are you disappointed?
Well, definitely. I mean. This is something that we think needs to be done, especially when it comes to the government assisting the Liberia Labour Congress. We feel that for it being a long coming now, the government has not been able to budget any funding for the Liberia Labour Congress, because the Liberia Labour Congress, AWU is an affiliate of the Liberia Labour Congress, and the Liberia Labour Congress is the umbrella organization of all the trade union movement in Liberia. So definitely, if the government can assist the Liberia Labour Congress, definitely AWU will be able to benefit from some of the fundings that will come to the Liberia Labour Congress, because it will not be directly just for AWU, but the rest of the other trade union movement in the country. Yeah, so definitely that is something that we are hoping that they could do in the coming budget year, by passing something, despite the fact that we know the government is strained in terms of budgeting. But we think, all sectors of the country must benefit from the resources or from the revenue generation that is being provided, especially so when we, the workers, also pay our taxes to the revenue basket.
So let me ask this: are you ever engaged the government where you sat on a round table discussion to
Yeah,
put the cases
we've been
before
doing
them?
that through the Liberal Labour Congress. We have been working through the Liberal Labour Congress because it's a
That is your
key
mother?
yes, organization, and then we've been doing that through the Liberal Labour Congress. So we hope this time around something will be put in the budget, that will be able to help the labor movement, to move ahead in the country.
Okay. Yeah, although the president talked a lot, but can you give us the direct picture of what will be happening comes the 20th?
Oh yes, on the 27th, we'll be inducting into office about 43 workplace representatives and over about 8 coordinators at the Golden Verilion oil palm plantation in Sino and Grand Creek counties. Those elected workplace representatives, will be inducted into office, and we have for our keynote speaker on that day will be Representative Omen Creighton Donkey. Yeah, he will be our keynote speaker. We'll also have, I think we'll have Senator Tiaje, Representative Bawe from Grand Creek County, as well as some other prominent or citizens, of the county, including the superintendent, will also be present. It will be a very big event, and we are calling on all noteworthy citizens, who will have the time to, be able to be there, and it will be a big event. We want to put those elected workplace representatives into office, and right after that, we'll be partnering with the Solidarity Center, our local-based Solidarity Center, which has an office here, to be doing 1 or 2 days training to build the capacity of the newly elected workplace representatives so that they will know their role. What is it that they will be doing in terms of assisting the work in the field, in terms of grievance handling, how to mitigate issues when they come up on the floor and all of that, at the various workplaces. We'll be training them in that direction as well, right after the induction program. So there will be a lot of things that will be happening. A lot of things will be happening. So as the president flagged, the forestry sector is the most precarious work area currently as we speak in Liberia. What the Forestry Development Authority has really been focusing on has been the community benefiting from the forest sector, which is good. But then where we have the lapses is that those workers who are within that forest sector, they have actually not been given full attention, and that is where I will have a big challenge. We have a huge challenge in that direction, and we are organizing workers within the forest sector as well.
Okay. Footage Live Television. Today we are here at the head office of AU, where we then discussing a range of issues as it relates to the welfare of their members and other national issues. Before we call their date, what are those? Can you state particularly how many members you have currently in the country, and how many countries are you in currently?
Okay, I will currently have over 10,000 members. And we, in the various sector, the agricultural sector, the industrial sector, as well as the forestry sector. And currently we are within 9 of the 15 counties, and we are still expanding.
Why now?
Yeah, we are still expanding. The reason is that we are organizing in other sector. We are organizing in other sector, and once we're organizing, because that is part of our strategy. Our 1-year strategy is to ensure that wherever we have all of the various institutions or various companies that are in the forest sector, agricultural sector, so that we can be able to organize workers in those areas and go there. But the problem right now is the issue of fundings. Now, before you can get out there to do the organizing and all of that, you must make sure you have fundings and all of that. And that is why we are engaging with our partners so that we can get granting to expand our operations across the country. But we want to be across the country to be able to effectively carry out our duty to give workers a chance to be to address the issue of labor rights and social justice issue that concern working men and women in our country.
When was FAWU founded?
FAWU was founded in 2014, and with the merger of the then Firestone Agricultural Workers Union of Liberia, which is our local one, and the Golden Vermilion Agricultural Workers Union, which is our local 2, and the Sigma groups of company, which is our local 3. We also have, sector in the forestry sector, the Atlantic resources, our local 4. So all of those various institutions or company are under our jurisdiction, and we are expanding. We are working to expand into other sector of our economy.
You ready? Okay. Finally, before take leave of you, maybe you got some burning issue that
definitely. What we want to see is that we want more engagement with our national government. The national economy, the current state of our national economy requires that every or all of the partners, put our hands on deck to ensure that we try to straighten this out before it fall into a very degrading state. And so that is why we want this long-term, we'll have a short-term and a long-term initiative. The government must ensure that the short-term and long-term initiative to revamp our national economy is put into place, because we don't want to see a company like Firestone that have been here for so many years continue to lay off workers, because Firestone has been intertwined and intricately involved with our national economy. And so if she continues down the path, definitely it wouldn't fare well for our national economy. And so that is why we want management to put into place some of the long-term policy of diversification in our agricultural sector and other infrastructural development to enhance the upliftment of our national economy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. President.
Well, it is important that we commend the effort of keeping the agriculture issue out of on the front burner. In terms of how do we see the current state of affairs, we think it is important that we ask our government to step up, and she should see though comment coming from outside of our box as something she can work along with, and then keep her focus on working with institutions that are able to work along and revive this economy. We know it is not it's not only unique in Liberia, but what is important, we want the life of our people and the life of the working people to improve. And for the little while, it is important that they keep their focus, because it is saddening that we have to lose up to 300 workers, and then they are turned into employee, turned into a contractor, something that AWU could not save, and something that will not be prepared for the next time. We ask the government to have a direct engagement with partners and actors that in the field, then only crafting policy that don't cross the rest of the sector. And again, we just ask Liberians to work along. We ask investors to see reason to come in, and we ask the government to provide a corridor, the environment, so that our people can have not only a decent work, but have a living wage. On that note, I would just want to appreciate that the situation are all calm at the Vera plantation, and we will work along with management to improve productivity. And all we ask for is we don't want any habitual, any unilateral decision that will affect our worker and affect our membership.
Okay. Thank you very much, Hamilton, for us as the president. Thank you.
Thank you.